I'm Marvin Jackson, and welcome back to the Sideline Report. We're talking football with Byron, Dixon, and Paige. Now, Bree has some NFL lineage. Her dad was Stephon Paige with the Kansas City Chiefs. And talk about that experience for you.
Yeah, I mean, I love my dad. He was the reason why I love sports, why I'm so into football, basketball.
And you're a big volleyball.
Yeah.
You were All-American
Played volleyball at Colorado State, then went overseas after I graduated. So, you know, it's just in my blood.
And talking about in the blood, the Redskins have a lot of players who, there's a big legacy, you know, especially from those 80s. And I spent some time with Dexter Manley at last week's Redskins homecoming, and it made for some interesting conversation.
So this is a true story. In 1980, I was in Tampa, Florida. That was the Combines now in Indianapolis, but it was all over the country. And I tell you, from that point on, Bobby Becker said, I want you to take Corey Bacon's spot. And so he drafted me in the 5th round, and I was so grateful to get here. And I knew the magnitude of what kind of fan base the Redskins has when I was at Dulles Airport getting off that bus, you know, moving into the main tunnel. And I could just tell it was in the air how much support the Redskins had in this whole community. And Bobby Becker, I told him last night that he was a great general manager. The guy in New England Patriots has nothing on Bobby Becker. Bobby has an insight for talent. He knows how to pick players. And I think Bruce Allen does a great job, but Bobby Becker is the king in NFL scouts.
So Bobby Becker should be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, he will be in the Hall of Fame. He picked me. We probably go in together. I sure hope so.
Look. Hey, man, talk about, you know, one thing people don't realize that you were playing special teams for a while, too.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, what made you play special teams?
Well, I know that when you come in this league, the way you make an impact, you have to make the impact on special teams. You're not #1 draft choice. Of course, I wasn't, but I was talented enough that I could go to Wayne Severe and say, I want to be on special teams. He immediately put me on there, and I had an impact. He put me at the wide out. Wide out, you put your speedster down here on punt coverage. And so that's where I made my niche, and from that point on, I may play special teams maybe 2 or 3 games my rookie season, and I started as a rookie on the defensive end, and I never played special teams no more.
Was there anybody as big as you who was as fast as you?
No. Nobody in the league like that, and it's just a God thing. Yeah.
Could anybody block you?
Not consistently. You might block me 1 or 2 times, but not on a consistent basis, no.
What is it about you and your teammates that made you guys a special team?
Well, I think mostly it starts with Joe. First, it starts with Joe Gibbs at the helm. Joe Gibbs was he had a faith was unshakable. I think that plays a big role in it. And we knew we had unity. We had good personnel, good talent, and we gelled together. You know, the football brings people together, black, white, rich or poor. And so we had each other's back at all times, and we knew the significance of playing together because we were a very talented football team. And I have to say that Joe Gibbs at the helm of that because he kept talking about team, and looking out for your brothers. And that's the way it was.
Can teams now be as close as you guys were?
Well, right now the money is so astronomical, huge egos, and people want to do their own thing and with their own personalities. And so it can be, but people have to take the eye out of themselves and think about team. If they can have the team concept, they make it gel together. I think that's what's the deal with New England. You know, although they got a lot of, so they automatically not very talented, but they play together as a team.
What about this team right here in Washington? What is it going to take for them to get over the hump?
Well, first of all, they have to stay healthy. That's a big part of football. Is a very violent sport, and the ones who have the least amount of injuries, if you're a good football team, you can get past. See, we're in the second half now. If they can just have this nice stretch run in the second half, I think they can get to the next, keep going in each round of the playoffs. I think that's what it takes. But you got to gel, and most important, stay healthy.
All right, and one more question. They got to play Dallas on Thanksgiving.
Well, they're going to beat Dallas on Thanksgiving.
You ate raw steak when you played Dallas,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But what do they have to eat turkey?
They
'Cause
need
it's
to be.
Thanksgiving?
They need to be able to have the attitude they want to run over their grandmother. They got to be able to want to run over their grandmother if she get in the way, and have that that raw meat and just have that attitude. We're gonna run over our grandmother, beat the Cowboys. I think they're gonna do it.
All right. Great interview, man. You're awesome.
All right, that was Dexter, I tell you. And, you know, Dexter, he was like one of the leaders on that defense. But talk about that team and what made them so great.
Well, Marvin, you said it in an interview. He said it started with Joe Gibbs and that leadership and the camaraderie you had in the locker room. You even said it a little bit today, but a bigger player, but a big personality, Manley was. And he did it in every facet of the game, from special teams to playing on defense, from a rookie. And you just saw it in that interview. Did an excellent job.
Yeah. And, Bree, let's talk about these Redskins now and what they have to do to get there, to get to the playoffs.
Yeah, I think
it's going to be a tough playoff push, and they're going to have some of those qualities that those teams had, right?
Yeah, I definitely think the biggest is teamwork, you know, playing together, staying together. And then, of course, everything flows together once you have that. Defense is imperative, getting the ball to the key players, Kirk Cousins throwing well in the pocket and avoiding interceptions.
Yeah, and what about you, Byron?
I think they said staying healthy is very important, and just playing together at the right time. I think you're starting to see this team come together offensively. Got a run game, defense, create more turnovers, some takeaways, see what happens.
All right, Byron, Bree, do they have to beat Dallas or they have to beat all the other teams? Because Dallas pretty much is first place, right, in the NFC East. So they don't have to beat Dallas, but they have to beat everybody else, right?
Yeah. I think the only team that outclasses anyone, the two teams that outclasses anyone, the NFL, Dallas and Seattle, for me, I think. And
It's a team right above them, the New York Giants. They want to focus on catching. They have 7 wins. They have another game with them coming up. They can win that. They'll be in business.
All right, well, let's take a break. And when we return, Bowie State football is in the house. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bree.
Thank you.